Hey, welcome to Bikes, Boats, and Bivouacs. Today we pulled into the Wilderness Lake Campground up in Connecticut. Let's take a look. We are in Site 15 at Wilderness Lake. It's right off of 84. And they had a lot of rain here, so the site was a little moist, but I was able to get in here. So they have electric, 30 and 50 amp, and they have water, but no sewer at this particular site. You have to use a dump station. Does have a fire ring. Does come with a picnic table. We have our mat out because this is a grass site. Bree, what do you think of your view of the Wilderness Lake?
The Wilderness Lake view is magnificent.
And here it is. I did run the water line to the service side, and I didn't need an extender. I thought maybe I'd need my extender on the electric cord, but you see it reaches the box. So we're all set up at Wilderness Lake. Okay, since we made it to Wilderness Lake in Connecticut, we applied the Connecticut sticker. It's a small one, much smaller than even a postage stamp. So we put that on there. So we got Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, New Hampshire, and Connecticut. And on this trip we did New York, New Hampshire, and Connecticut. At Wilderness Lake they have some playground pieces of equipment for kids. Seesaw, that basketball thing, some climbers, a set of swings. And we see some adult activities across the street here. All the roads through the park are gravel. And they did have a torrential rainstorm here yesterday, so things are still damp. A volleyball court. They have horseshoes. It looks like maybe they even have tournaments because they have, you know, a set of 3 here. Here is their dump station. So they have a hose to fill your water to flush it. And here is the sewer receiver. And then you make this turn to head on out. So we'll be testing out that dump station pretty soon. So the campground is named for the lake, Wilderness Lake, and here you can see it. It is a catch and release lake. You see the cattails along the shoreline. Some lilies in there. Probably gonna kayak that, see how we do. So a very rustic campground. Some interior sights here. So we see it's a catch and release pond, no live bait. You gotta use artificial lures. I have a nice patio up here. This is the clubhouse. Here is their beach area. They do have some kayaks and canoes. They have a bathhouse. It's very nice. Couple urinals. Couple shower stalls. You have propane. If you run out of propane, you can get your propane tanks filled here. And it looks like they might have a game room here down below. So at Wilderness Lake, the office and the store are located in the same building. It's not at the entrance. If you just come on in, you'll see a sign pointing towards the office and you head over that way. And if you're lucky, when you get here to register, you're going to find Haley behind the counter, and she's going to help you figure out where your site is and maybe even get someone to show you where it's at. So thank you, Haley, for your help. Their store has pretty much everything you normally forget when you go camping. In addition to that, they have clothing, but you know, cups, mugs, fishing stuff, food items, and of course ice cream. Everybody's got to have ice cream, right? Do have some drinks in here and basic pantry items that you have in the camper that you might forget. A little bit of everything. There are multiple sections in this campground. And there's a basketball court. Seasonal site right there. I notice the sites in the back are much larger. I guess the further away from the lake you are, you know, the larger the site. I'd like to give you our impressions of Wilderness Lake Campground in Willington, Connecticut. Marie, what do you think of Wilderness Lake?
It is a small campground, and you basically set up around the lake, Wilderness Lake. That's where it comes from the title.
Yeah, so the campsites are all around the lake, and the campsite that we had, of course, was right on the water. So we had electric and water, but we didn't have sewer, so we had to use the dump station. One caution about that dump station, for smaller trailers like ours, the receptacle at the dump station is in a concrete pad that's a little bit elevated. So for my tanks to drain, I had to jack my camper up with the tongue jack to get the outlet higher than the receiving inlet from the sewer system. So just as a word of caution, if you have a smaller unit, just be aware that you might want to check out the dump station if you don't have a full service hookup. What did you think about the layout of that campground?
Oh, it was nice. It had a nice playground for the kids. It had quates. You could play quates. And what else did we
Basketball
see?
court.
Basketball court.
Have a really beautiful clubhouse right on the water by the
Right.
beach.
It seems like they do weddings. They cater to weddings there as well. And I did notice that there's a lot of cross-country skiing trails
Yeah, for the winter time.
for the winter there as well. It was really wet there because there were some thunderstorms the week that we went up to that particular campground. So we were a little bit cautious of the water and where it was laying.
It's a family-run campground, and the owner told us that it had rained for 24 hours the day before. So he wanted to make sure that I saw the site first to make sure I could get my camper in and out with no issues. So I really appreciated the personal attention that was given to us to make sure the site was going to be fine, or he could have moved us to a different site. So really, really helpful folks. They have a nice store there, and they're friendly. You know, the check-in staff and all that, it's really friendly. So we were only there one day, but what was the main activity we did there?
We did go on the lake and we did some kayaking. And it was nice. It was
Yeah.
really quiet.
We pulled the kayaks off the racks on the truck, and we could drop them in right down from where our campsite was. And we did throw the lines. The lake is artificial lure only, must throw everything back lake. And I just had our rods with rubber worms on them in the kayak, so I didn't have the full tackle box to check the different types of lures to see what they would be hitting on. So we didn't catch any fish, but it was a really enjoyable kayak trip. We basically kayaked around the lake, spent about an hour in there. Saw a lot of turtles.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then the next day, we pulled out of there and headed home. What do you think about would you go back to Wilderness Lake?
If we're traveling down I-84, definitely that's a good spot to stop.
Yeah, it was only about maybe 2 miles off the highway. So it was easy to get off of 84 and on 84, which is the main corridor that goes up through the northeast. So if we're on 84 and we would need to stop when we're near there, we would stop there again. So that, that would work out okay. I think I paid $60 for that site, so it was kind of the same price. All those campgrounds were about the same price up there. So we really appreciated Wilderness Lake for what it is, and we're glad we got out on the kayaks. So if this video helped you, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free, it helps me out a lot. If you want to know every time we put up a video, what could they do, Marie?
Ring the bell.
You ring that notification bell. Each time we put up a new video, you'll know about it. And also, what could they do to help other people see our videos?
Remember to give us a thumbs up.
So if you give us a thumbs up, that helps YouTube see the people who are watching it, and then it gains access to a greater number of people watching videos. But more important than all that, go have some fun out there. Thanks for watching.